I don't think I want to blend it out. I think it just looks good, just like BAM! Let's keep it that way. Hey y'all, my name is Becca and welcome back to my channel today. I am so excited for today's video, even though I always say I'm really excited, but that's probably because I drink coffee before I film, but I'm really excited because I am bringing y'all the video of the $4 drugstore highlighter versus the $38 high-end highlighter. I really love anything with sparkle in it, especially when it comes to makeup, and it's no secret that I love a great deal when it comes to anything, especially when it comes to makeup. So in this video, I'm going to compare both of the highlighters side by side, and we're going to see if it's worth it to spend the $38 on the highlighter and just skip the $4 one, or if it's a better deal to go with the $4 highlighter. But before I get into this review, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell right next to it so you get notified when I post videos, because I'm going to be doing some more of these as well as my fitness videos, which I'm super pumped about for 2017. So let's get straight into that makeup review. So if you can tell by the thumbnail, we are going to be comparing the e.l.f. $4 highlighter, which is available at the drugstore, which I got at my local Target, versus the Becca highlighter, which I picked up at Sephora for $38. Very big price difference, especially if you're on a budget, so I'm going to be comparing both of these to see which one is better, if they compare at all, if you should splurge on this one, or if you should just pay $4 for this one. Starting out with the packaging, obviously the Becca one is a little bit better, it's a little bit sturdier, and you can just tell when you pick up a higher end product by the packaging. The e.l.f. packaging isn't that bad though. I do like how it's clear and you can see right through it, so if you do have multiple different shades of this highlighter, you can just glance at it and you don't have to worry about flipping it over or opening it to see what shade this is. Before I get into the actual swatching, I want to let y'all know which colors I actually have. Of the e.l.f. highlight, I have shade Moonlight Pearls, and of the Becca highlight, I have shade Opal. I thought about getting Champagne Pop, but it was just a little bit too gold for me, and when comparing it to Moonlight Pearls, they look almost the same when looking in the packaging. When I swatch them, however, Opal comes off a little bit more gold than Moonlight Pearl though. So with this e.l.f. product, I've seen really good reviews and really bad reviews, and I found it's because you have to do something to this e.l.f. highlight before using it. And I know what you're thinking. You should be able to open up a makeup product and be able to use it right away. Not the case with this e.l.f. highlight. So something about when they finish off this e.l.f. highlight on the very top of the product, it just, you can't get that much pigmentation off of it. It comes off very chalky unless you go in and scrape off the very top barrier of the highlight. Whatever they finish off this highlight with, I guess to keep it from shattering maybe or something like that, it just makes it seem very chalky. Like if you're from the South like I am, it seems like a mud pie that's been sitting out for like a week. So with this e.l.f. highlight, I've already scraped up the top portion in the very center of it, but I haven't done it on the outside. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. Okay, so here is the part that I've scraped off right here that is very pigmented and nice product. I'm going to scrape off just this very side, which hasn't been scraped off at all. You see I rubbed my finger in there about 4 or 5 times. Literally no pigmentation. Like, what is that? That's not like anything. But when going back into it with the top part that I have scraped off, there is your pigmented highlight. So as you can obviously tell, you have to scrape off that top portion of the e.l.f. highlight to get good use of the product. If you don't do that, then you're left with a really crappy product, like a Dollar Tree type product, or even worse than that, if that's even a thing. So make sure you do that. Comparing it side by side to the Becca one seems to be a little bit more gold tone. Like I said, they're not the exact same shade, but the pigmentation is pretty similar. We're going to see how this applies to my face to see which one is the ultimate winner. I'm going to apply the Becca one to this side of my face and the e.l.f. one to this side of my face. I'm going to be using this e.l.f. brush to apply both of these highlighters. This is technically a concealer brush by e.l.f., but it works really nicely for packing on that highlight. Is it weird that I'm like kind of nervous for this? I don't know. I will say holding this mirror in my hand, it feels really glamorous. Oh my god. Holy crap, this is pretty. Oh god, I don't even want to blend it out. Like, that just looks so nice. Y'all, that's one layer, and I barely dipped this brush in it. Obviously, I just picked this up from Sephora yesterday and hadn't applied it yet, but that's pretty. All right, it's time for the e.l.f. Time for the e.l.f. Sounds like a Christmas movie. So I'm dipping this same brush into the e.l.f. product. I cleaned it off before doing it just to give the e.l.f. one a fair chance. Okay, e.l.f., don't let me down. You're one of my favorite brands. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't want to blend this one out either. Look at that. Okay. Comparing it right away, you can definitely tell there's a difference in my highlights. Like I said, the Opal one, like right here, a little bit more gold toned versus the e.l.f. one, which is not so gold toned, but I gotta say, e.l.f.'s still holding its own against Becca. Before I share my final thoughts on these highlighters, pause the video and comment down below which highlighter you think did better. Keep the price in mind though. Do you think this e.l.f. highlighter did really good for the $4, or do you think it's worth the splurge to buy the Becca one for almost $40? My final thoughts are, e.l.f. didn't let me down. I am proud to say that e.l.f. is still one of my favorite makeup brands for the quality of this highlighter. And I definitely think if you're a girl on a budget, buy this one over this one. I think this is a great deal. The packaging, you know, it's not as nice. Yeah, you have to scrape off the top portion to get a good pigmentation and a good application of the highlight, but it's really nice for $4. I've had a lot of hits and misses with e.l.f., but they still remain one of my favorite makeup brands because most of the time, they do really well for being so cheap. Now, don't get me wrong. Y'all saw my face when I applied this Becca. It's beautiful. I mean, look at it. It's really great. But it is $38. And $38 is a lot to certain people, especially if you're cheap like me. There's not like a pass or a fail on this video. It's not like there's one that's good and one that's bad. It's not like that. Both of these are really great. If you do have $38 to spend on a highlight and that's not a big deal to you, I would say to buy the Becca one. It is a little bit nicer and you don't have to worry about scraping a product off the top. But if you're a girl on a budget like me, buy this e.l.f. one. It is worth it to save a little bit more money and just scrape off a little bit of product on the top. So that is it for today's video, y'all. Let me know in the comments down below if y'all enjoy this style of like drugstore versus high-end makeup. I know I personally love watching these videos, and if y'all love watching them too, I will definitely start making a lot more. I love y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye!